All right, guys. So five things that have to go out today. One is because I promised the guy it would go out today. These Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch. Somebody told me these were probably bought at a Converse store at the Mall of America and custom printed with that on them, because I can't find another comp for them. They've been around for 2 years at least, probably 3. They've been ended and sold similar. And I don't keep track of how long it was listed. Like, I don't transfer that information over the way that some people do. They sold for $15, probably plus shipping. Not custom. Converse All-Stars, probably not worth picking up. We paid $7 for a soda stream, and it came with 3 kinds of syrup. One was like a raspberry water. These are actual soda, and these sold together for 20 bucks, but we already made money when the seltzer bottles sold. This sold for $7 free shipping. It was listed. It wasn't worth listing, but it got listed. It was listed for $9.99 free shipping. Somebody sent me a $7 offer. I took it to get it gone, and then this sold. We paid $4 for this. The motor is the least valuable part, but the 3 pieces you get off the top, there's a bowl, the lid, and the blades all sell for around just under $15 a piece, and that one sold for $10. And then this router, paid $5 for this Porter cable router. Porter cable things that are made in the US and are heavy tend to do really well for me. Porter cable, now they make some real cheap stuff, but they used to make really, really good stuff. And so older Porter cable stuff can do super well. This is a router. It's got an unusual base. So like the top part is just a motor, and it has a plug, and then the bottom part is a handle with a pistol grip, and so that's 2 separate parts. The pistol grip base is more rare, and so it added significant value. I paid $5 for them as a pair at an estate sale, listed them for $165 and took a $150 offer on day 2, and the guy asked me if I could get them shipped on Monday, because he's going on vacation. The sob story doesn't matter. I was probably going to ship it today anyway, but I have a baby who's napping, and I got the monitor, and a puppy who's learning the backyard. So I'm trying to be as quick as I can shipping stuff today, because I can't lose track of those girls. Now, most of this isn't any good. That hook all might be okay, but this bent Craftsman box end, I think, is something special. Yeah, so this would be worth listing all by itself. It'd probably sell for like $14 plus shipping. $5, there's really nothing else in there to justify buying the bag. I'm gonna check this all just to make sure, but I'd be shocked. Well, I'm glad I did. $43.19, that all is better than the wrench, and so at $440 I should be able to list this for $15 and this for $20 plus shipping, and then the other stuff is just junk, but we get it anyway. So this is a mistake I used to make a lot. Like, this is a cool piece of barware. It I looked it up, and there is a sold for like $20, but it doesn't have, it's supposed to have the top, it's supposed to have a top to be a shaker, and there are 50 something listed. So sell-through rate really makes a difference on something like this, and checking comps to make sure that it's not just a glass but a shaker, then you realize it's incomplete. So I was thinking, I'm not a huge LeBron James fan, but these are nice shoes, and oh, they're a little bit too big for Judah, but I didn't get that far to find out they're $50 on the shelf, and there's only one, so I don't know if you get the other one at the front or if somebody walked off with one. And then they always, you know, they're checking good quality, make sure they have good shoes on the floor before they put $50 on something. Now, these are floor shine, so that surprises me a little bit, but I mean, they're newer junk floor shine. 460s, are they're not made in the US, or they would say made in the US on the outsides. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. Somebody peeled the heels off of both of these. I actually picked these up at the estate sale that we were at where I didn't get anything. Oh, well that's new. That's a joke. All right guys, Tuesday morning, 13 items for just a couple pennies short of $400. Let's look at them. Also, she does not leave my feet, ever. So she's just sitting outside waiting for me to go do something so she can follow me to it. Golf balls. Mojo golf balls. These used to do really, really well, and I think they're coming back some. Nike doesn't make golf stuff anymore, so people who like these balls are going to have to buy them secondhand. These are... I was thinking these were colored, but they're not. They are just white. Mojo Nike golf balls. Bought them, I think I paid $1 a pack for them a long time ago. And the buyer paid $7.75 plus shipping. But obviously there was an issue with the shipping because it's domestic. And the buyer's all in at $21.84. And they negotiated me down because the shipping was high. RotoZip, very handy tool that I just threw the bit on the ground because I took it apart. But this allows you to run like a pattern, a circle, a rectangle, a squiggly line on drywall is the thing that this is used most for. I remember when this came out because I was running a hardware department 15 years ago, maybe almost 20. And it was a big deal, and it's still a very popular tool. This was $1 at the estate sale where I was carrying Ruby and we left the flag and went back later. This was $1, and I thought it was going to be really good. Turns out it was okay. $12 plus shipping, buyers all in at $25, but this will cost me probably close to that $12. Between $9 and change and $11 to ship. So not making a tremendous amount of money, but I only paid $1. How about a Game Boy cable? And this is aftermarket. If it was Game Boy brand, if it was Nintendo branded, it would be better. It was part of the retro truckload sale, so I bought a box like this full of video game stuff, and probably for $25, and this was in it. I listed it for $5 plus shipping, and it sold, and it took a year to sell at that price. Not making a tremendous amount of money, but it is return on a bulk purchase. Another thing where I've already made, I paid $8 for a box of SodaStream stuff. SodaStream, this one, didn't pair with the flavors that I already had, and they sell for $12 free shipping. So that's what I listed it for. I won't make a bunch of money, but I didn't buy this. I bought the machine and the seltzer bottles and the flavors that sold for $20 for 2 yesterday. This I'll probably make $3 or $4 on, but I might as well make the $3 or $4. Milbrons. This is not a great Milbrons. The Milbrons that Borns. It's French. The one that does really well is the older one, but this was 50 cents, and then it was half price day, so I paid $1.25 for this, and it sold for $14 free shipping. Now, this was a bad buy. $14 free shipping on a t-shirt wouldn't be bad, except I think I paid $3 or $4 for it. If I got it in a bulk buy, or I picked it up for 50 cents at a yard sale or something, but I think I paid $3.54, whatever East Peoria Goodwill charges for their t-shirts, which is significant, maybe close to $4. So this was not a good buy, but it was a tour t-shirt, Brooks and Dunn, from 2010, and I didn't comp it. So I just like, oh, that's got to be worth $15 plus shipping. Turns out it was $14 free shipping. Not a good pickup. But now we're getting into making money. These are Gargoyle brand sunglasses, I like to pick up sunglasses because they're so easy to deal with. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Gargoyle brand sunglasses. I had never heard of them, but they feel like quality. They feel a lot like Oakley's. They had this case with them that was branded for them, and they had some paperwork in them. So I knew that they were quality, well taken care of, complete. And they were $1. The glasses were 50 cents, and then they had a box full of cases that were 50 cents, and most of the cases were generic, but I was like, oh, that's a Gargoyle. So I put them together, paid $1, sold for $20 plus shipping to an international buyer. Just the other day, we paid $3 and 50 cents, something like that, for My Little Pony books, like graphic novels. And these ones are 1, 2 in the series, 1, 2 in the series, 1, 2 in the series, and number 8 that is this series. So like this is 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then this one's an outlier. These sold for $26 free shipping for these graphic novels that I paid less than $4 for. And then this one was an outlier, and it sold for, I think, $24 all by itself. $25 free shipping all by itself. So that is pretty good money. $50 out of 5 or less than 5 in 2 lots. This, we paid $30 for this full of tools. And if you look right here, I don't know if I can make it show up in the reflection, 6,500 is the number. This is an old Craftsman logo. It's in really nice shape. I mean, it's not perfect. It does have some dents and scratches and stuff, but nothing major. And then it has the red tray and all of these kind of big tools, toolboxes with the, you can see where the tray sits. It's not worth much without the tray. And the gray tray isn't worth as much as the red tray. And there is a collector market for these. Bottom's not very scratched up. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. We paid $30 for this at a yard sale. We have a bunch of wrenches to sell. We've sold one set of wrenches for, the buyer was all in at $25. I probably made 15, so half my money back already. And that one sold for $80 plus shipping, buyers all in at $120. So I don't know what it's going to cost me to ship. It's not cheap, but it's not terrible. It's not going to be $40 that they paid. UPS gives you an unbelievable discount. And then, unlike FedEx, doesn't go behind and mark that up. We talked about that board game board that I didn't end up making money on because lots of reasons, but it was basically I sold it so cheap that most of the profits got eaten up in the shipping. But I shipped it FedEx to keep it where I made some money. They did not go back and back charge me. I said I wanted to revisit that in a week. Well, it's been delivered. And this is the lid off of something I paid $4 for. When you buy these little blender choppers from Cuisinart and KitchenAid, you sell them as 3 parts. You sell the motor, which doesn't really make any money. I think I made 90 cents. It probably wasn't worth messing with. But the cup and the lid sell separately for $15. So I'll make, this one sold for $13.90. So I'll make $4 on this and 5 or 6 on the cup. And so my $4 investment comes to be like $11. Comes back, and they sell fast. Bought a whole bunch of media. Stairway to Heaven is on this Led Zeppelin album. It's a gate. This is called gatefold. When the cover flips like this, that's called gatefold. When you're shipping a collectible album, you want to ship it with the record on the outside so that it doesn't like bounce and put a hole here on the cardboard. Most often it would happen here. It would bounce out and then cut the edge of the cardboard sleeve. So if you can, you should ship them like this so that the record is protected in the dust jacket and the sleeve is protected from the record like that. And then I just wrap it in bubble wrap and put tape taunt, not tight. You don't want to bend something tight, taunt around there so that nothing can move. And then it is best to, if you're going to sell a bunch of albums, it is best to get record mailers. That is the industry standard. They're reasonably cheap. I don't have any, and I haven't for a very long time. So what I do is a 12 by 12 by 12 box, and then cut it down, and I can get 2 record boxes out of a 12 by 12 by 12. And it's real thick and they're real heavy, and it works as a matter of convenience. If you're trying to sell off your record collection, if you're trying to be a record seller, somebody asked this in the comments, but it's best to just invest in the record mailers because it makes life so much easier. But I have a half a dozen that are going to sell by the time they would get here if I ordered them from Zorro, and I'd probably have to order 100, and I have like 12 records, 15 to sell. So records are a thing where like either you specialize or you should kind of stay out of them. That's my opinion. And I've sold thousands of records. My eBay name before it was Mod and Pop Thrift was The Record Dude. Before I had my first child, I had 10,000 records. I inventoried them. And I had, and then a buddy of mine opened a record store, and I put my doubles in his store and made a bunch of money. I was like, well, I can sell these on eBay. And people are just so particular about quality on eBay. The condition of every little thing can matter to one person and not matter to another. And which pressing it is takes forever to research unless you're super familiar with how to read the dead wax and where to find that information. So specializing in records is fantastic. There's a lot of money to be made, but it's kind of like, in a way that CDs don't need to be your niche. If you're going to sell CDs, you can be an everything seller. I think records are harder to add to an everything seller than to specialize in as a niche. In a way that you can sell CDs and t-shirts and board games, and then adding records is a total other thing. Like if you're like women's clothing, you know enough to know from men's clothing kind of how to do it, but it's a whole other animal than men's clothing. Records are a whole other animal from regular media. Megadeth. What are these? Cryptic Writings, Rust in Peace, Countdown to Extinction, and Youth in Asia. Not euthanasia, Youth in Asia, except it's all one word. It's a pun, because what do you want more from your heavy metal bands than a pun about dying? Euthanasia, fantastic. Megadeth. I like Megadeth. I don't listen to them regularly, but Megadeth and Metallica both are fantastic talents for when you're in the mood for it. Those were part of the big media buyout that I did for my buddy, and they sold for $26. Free shipping, and that is all of it. I got to get this stuff shipped, so let's move on to other things.